The silver glow of the moon catches glimpses of the foul water. The chilled northern night air is split by dull croaks coming from the swamp. You move closer, a couple of steps. Suddenly, a demon appears from beneath the water with black horns and a body that is woolly and matted. Standing amidst the black wooden figures, you hear a rustle in the trees. You read the protective spells, but out comes a person, not a demon. An ancient woman dressed in old clothes. It would seem you have come across a beggar.
Oh, a witch, a witch. I can smell your kind from a mile away. Can you spare a few coins? I don't need much to get by. A person is only as good as they are charitable.
Here you are. Don't forget me in your prayers.
Thank you. I'll pray for your lost soul. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this, a healing herb.
Near the forest's edge, you see a white towel on an old stump. Someone has left a bottle of milk and some piragi. Near these gifts is a birch charter. Peasants from Bigichi village are asking the Leshi to take care of their cattle. You take the gifts, but leave the charter. The Leshi will probably help them anyway, just not as much as he would have if you had not stolen the offerings. While traveling through the woods, you stumble upon a snake's nest. Baby snakes are still inside their eggs. Fortunately, the mother snake does not seem to be around. You make a small wall of stones around the nest and wait for the larger snake to come back. The mother snake soon returns. Seeing the barrier, she fruitlessly tries to get past, but soon leaves. Some time passes, and the snake comes back with a bunch of grass in its mouth. The snake touches the grassy mass to the stone barrier, and the wall instantly collapses. The snake is reunited with its nest. You quickly grab the grass before the snake hides it. It smells of rust. The only noticeable thing about it is the cross shape made by 4 leaves. Fortune has smiled upon you. You have found a break herb, a bundle of aromatic weeds that opens locks and barriers. You take the herb and get ready to go on your way. On a hillside near Kacheva Lake, you see 2 silhouettes. One is combing the other's long hair. There is something strange in his uneven movements, something that gives you shivers. The black figures disappear as soon as you recite the name of God. Gloomy windmill arms creak in the distance, parting the pre-dawn fog. The shadow of an owl passes overhead. It crosses your path, a bad omen, since man's path and man's destiny are as one. Yet, could it be it was trying to point you somewhere? Suddenly, you come upon a swamp and stop at its border. It is dangerous to continue onward. You turn to go back, and notice a devil's finger beneath your feet. You meet 2 travelers from Bigichi village who are on their way to the fields. The 3 of you continue on your journey together. Near the mouth of a chasm, one of them jokingly tries to shove you into the pit. You strike the peasant backhanded. As you glare at your 2 traveling companions, they transform into black, shadow-cloaked demons. You walk around the windmill and approach the chewed forest. The grim silence envelops you. The only sound you hear is of the fir branches, whispering in the morning fog. Suddenly, you see a swarm of chorts flying out of the side of the building, gleefully throwing around pieces of the windmill's wooden machinery. The short swarm dives into the gloom with a chorus of angry screams. As the forest sinks into silence, you inspect the windmill's debris. Among some wooden logs and mechanical parts, you find a small sack of flour and pick it up. The spruce branches part, and an old mill stands before you. This place is filled with legends and stories from the surrounding villages. Those who visited this place at dusk, or worse, at night, speak of dark phantoms in the windows of the mill, of sudden gusts of wind and other devilry. It is what they call a bad place. It's hard to see anything in the dark gloom of the night. Nevertheless, you feel your eyes getting used to the darkness. The black book may be aiding you. Amidst the thick grass, you spot an old axe, its blade covered with rust. It's obvious the mill is old. Some wood has rotted through, making more windows. You approach and try to open the door. It's closed. The lock is as old as the mill. One good strike with something heavy, and it will break. As soon as you press the break herb to the lock, it opens and falls to the ground.
Some kind of will has been placed here by the miller. The grindstones are still, but the blades of the mill are turning. This chest is for various tools used at the mill. Nothing interesting.
You study the cabinet. Among various krinkas, old pots, and birch bark containers, you find a sack with silver rubles. It might be of some use to you. You choose to take the money. The miller will hardly miss it. A broken block of wood is near the wall. It seems to be part of the windmill's mechanism and the reason why the grindstones are standing still. Through a hole in the wall, you see the woods of Chirnin.
I expected to see a wretched old man, not a beautiful maiden. Why are you here, then?
Well, what do you want with the windmill, then?
Haven't you figured it out? Perhaps I was wrong about you. I thought of you to be a strong witch, a master of wit, deduction, and intellect, one endowed with knowledge that others do not possess. I guess not.
The windmill is possessed. But is the demon's presence here as spontaneous as it appears to be? I must think about why he's here in the first place. You were summoned by a sacrifice. You've been here since your creation.
Well, you are knowledgeable indeed. Not to mention, I'm bound to this pitiful miller, but I desire a powerful master. Take me as your servant. My sacrifice will attract someone more agreeable, and you will have both your reward from the miller and the reward of my presence.
Well, so be it. I could use a chort like you, if not just for the conversation.
Wait, perhaps you are not as strong as you seem. There is yet to be such a Koldun who can outmatch the 13th brother. So arrogant. Do you really think you can defeat this ancient spirit?
Yes, my book will help me.
This can't be. It is a legendary artifact. I never gave up before, and I'm not going to now.
Take the demon into your personal service. He will ask for work, like any other Chort. The mill is now without a spirit, but this is none of your concern.